Hello everyone and welcome to Memory Flow, where we discuss fragrance and fragrance collecting, and today we are taking a look at another fragrance from the new LArt La Matière line, and this is Rose Cherie. As you probably know by now, Guerlain have made changes to the LArt La Matière line, all of the former fragrances being kept and other fragrances from other collections having been transformed and introduced here, but only two fragrances were announced as being completely new, and these were Santal Paurosa and this Rose Cherie. Of course, the rumor had it that Rose Cherie was in fact this French kiss adapted for LArt La Matière. So this is what we'll do today. We'll take a look at both of these fragrances and make a comparison. So first of all, French Kiss was released in 2014, made by Thierry Vasser and Delphine Yelk, I suppose. This marks 20 years. This celebrates 20 years of existence for the Guerlain lipstick Kiss Kiss. And the notes for French Kiss are raspberry, lychee, rose, violet, orris, vanilla, and musk, and I think heliotrope has to be there somewhere. So how does French Kiss smell? So this is a fruity, floral, musky fragrance with quite strong gourmand tones that comes from the raspberry, which you will feel from start to end. It's very closely bound together, but you can still make out some aspects. So one of the aspects is, of course, the gourmand, fruity, or just plain raspberry. It reminds me of fresh, wild raspberry juice that where you can feel the tartness. It's very fresh, sweet, but not cloying, which is very nice. The raspberry here is very watery from the lychee fruit. It's also very soft and velvety from the rose. It gives the fragrance the color and impression of deep pink, not unlike this, the color of the actual juice, which is great. I love it. Another aspect is the powdery aspect, because this has a makeup accord, which is similar to the smell of lipstick, although it's not very pronounced in French Kiss, but it is there. You will feel it. And I guess this comes from a combination of heliotrope, violet, orris, and the musk. There is vanilla in this fragrance, but it's almost non-existent. This is not a vanilla-based fragrance. I'm sorry, there's a dog going crazy outside my window. There's nothing I can do. I'll just wait for it to settle. French Kiss is a pink fragrance. It's very cheerful, it's optimistic. I have it in my collection because it covers the fruity area of fragrance, which I don't have many fruity fragrances in my collection because I'm not very keen on fruity fragrances and gourmands, because I think that fragrance and food aromas are a whole different thing, and I don't want them mixed. But I feel that French Kiss is done particularly well, and it doesn't bother me at all. I think that the fragrance is very well balanced, with it being kind of sweet, but also that tartness from the raspberry makes such a difference, and it's very easy to wear, especially for me, for a male. Now I wear this mostly in the summertime, but recently I found that it goes terribly well in colder seasons. So if you have this, do yourself a favor and try it in autumn. It really shines in colder weather. Now, Rose Cherie is described as a cheerful fragrance. Again, pink is mentioned, and Edith Piaf, La Vie en Rose, the famous song is also mentioned, which is kind of helps with the cheerful optimism of the fragrance, I guess, trying to see the life through a pink lens. So the notes for this are very similar, with the addition of an almond. When I wore them side by side on the skin, I couldn't make up many differences between them. There isn't much difference between them, but when you put them on paper, you can definitely tell there are quite a few differences. French Kiss is a lot more crystalline. It's clearer, it's sharper, and the raspberry note is very much more pronounced here, which means that the fragrance is both sweeter and fruitier and tartar at the same time. Then again, Rose Cherie feels a lot more opaque, which I think this comes from the musk. The musks feel more heavier. They are a lot more prominent. Also, Rose Cherie feels a lot woodier and even more velvety. It is clear that the rose in Rose Cherie takes precedent over the raspberry. So where I would call this fruity floral, I would call Rose Cherie floral fruity fragrance, which is interesting, and it tells a lot. The makeup accord in Rose Cherie is a lot more obvious, and it does remind me a little bit of Insolence, especially the EDT. Also, there's the addition of the almond, which is there, even though I would never call Rose Cherie an almondy fragrance, but it's there. It gives it a slightly bittersweet flavor and balances the entire sweetness of the fragrance. And also the tartness, which is nice, and the almond in Rose Cherie reminds me a little bit of the almond in La Petite Robe Noire, especially Black Perfecto EDT, although the EDP is not far from the whole French Kiss Rose Cherie line or idea of perfume, which is again great. Also, Rose Cherie is less powdery than Matiere from Chanel. It's also more fruity than Matiere from Chanel, but I guess it comes from that same vibe of powdery fragrances. All in all, I feel that the fragrance is very well done. It feels more rounded than French Kiss. It's a bit more balanced and definitely more mature. In terms of performance, they're both great. They perform very well on my skin, and for Rose Cherie, I feel that the sillage, the trail of the scent, is a bit larger, is a bit wider, which again is a good thing. So for those who were fans of French Kiss, I think that Rose Cherie is a very good alternative, as they are very similar, although definitely they're not the same fragrance, as you probably were able to tell from this review. And as for those who are looking for a rose fruity scent that is both cheerful and elegant, you should definitely give Rose Cherie a try. So there you have it. This was my review of both French Kiss and Rose Cherie, and the similarities between the two. I hope you found it useful. Do leave me your comments with your impression of both these fragrances. Have you tried them? Have you already worn them? Do you have them? Do you love them? Tell me in the comments. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel because it does help me quite a lot. And if you like this type of content and would like to buy me a coffee, you can do so following the description below. And as for always, remember, fragrance creates memories, and may yours be happy.